Hi there, Chair, committee members, and members of the public. My name is Tatiana Arnaud. I am your city engineer, and I'm here to present several agreements for on-call professional engineering services. So the recommendation today is that the Public Works and Transportation Committee recommend that the City Council approve and authorize the mayor to execute the following on-call professional engineering agreements. The first being Agreement A-8384 with Twining Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $750,000 for a 3-year term. Second, Agreement A-8385 with Earth System Specific in the amount not to exceed $500,000 for a 3-year term. Agreement A-8386 with Construction Testing and Engineering Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $500,000 for a 3-year term. Number 4, Agreement A-8387 with Black, O'Dowd and Associates Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $1 million for a 3-year term. Number 5, Agreement A-8389 with Rosaline Nakamura Terada Architects Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $1 million for a 3-year term. Number 6, Agreement A-8390 with SVA Architects Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $1 million for a 3-year term. Number 7, Agreement A-8396 with LSY Enterprise Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $1 million for a 3-year term. And finally, number 8, Agreement A-8397 with TJKM Transportation Consultants in the amount not to exceed $1 million for a 3-year term. So back in June of this year, the Public Works Department sent out a request for qualifications for multi-year on-call professional engineering services. This RFQ solicited proposals for various professional on-call engineering services that include these that are listed on the slide here. We have highlighted 4 very specific ones, and the reason being that the 8 agreements that we're bringing forward to you will fall under one of these, at least one of these 4 categories. So these services are required due to staff levels within the engineering division being not sufficient for basically being able to complete the project within the capital improvement program in a timely manner. A panel that consisted of several city staff members across multiple departments selected a total of 33 firms that best met the city's criteria from the RFQ and were consistent with the city's municipal code. And just to clarify as far as who was on the panel and how that worked for such a large request for qualifications, what we did was for each service category, we selected staff members that would be most closely the subject matter experts, at least within the city staff. So for instance, for the service category for development plan check, we brought in staff members from community development to assist with those reviews. Anything under traffic engineering, we obviously brought in the traffic division along with the engineering division to review those proposals. For environmental services, same thing, we brought in some of our planners since they are more intimately familiar with CEQA and things of that nature. So each service category had its own independent panel, but as a whole, we selected 33 firms across all of the 12 or 13 service categories. And then I do want to highlight that we're just bringing forward 8 of the 33. So there will be additional agreements that are brought forward to the committee and council once those next agreements are completed by staff. So this is just reiterating the same 8 that were in the recommendation, but under the scope of services category, geotechnical engineering and material and laboratory testing, we have Twining, Earth System Specific, and construction testing and engineering. Under architectural engineering design, we have Black, O'Dowd and Associates, RNT, and SVA Architects. And finally, under traffic engineering, we have LSY Enterprise and TJKM Transportation Consultants. So professional service under this agreement will be composed of task orders for each individual project assigned by the city and under the supervision of a project manager. The task order proposal will identify a concise description of the scope of work to be performed by the consultant, the method by which the consultant plans on completing the work, and a schedule for the completion of work. So very similar to a regular proposal for an RFP, but this is an expedited method of delivery as far as having a contract already executed, and we just have task orders for each of the projects that we request these proposals for. It is the consultant's responsibility ultimately to determine the best and most cost-effective method to complete the work so that the assigned task order can be completed to the satisfaction of the city of Oxnard. I do want to highlight here that projects with special requirements, such as federally funded or any other grant requirements, will be publicly bid separately as required. So if the way that we procured these agreements does not comply with the requirements of these federally funded projects or other grant funded projects, then we will make sure that we're following the proper policies and guidelines for those projects separately outside of this. So the total amount of each agreement shall not exceed the amounts noted previously over the term of 3 years. Funding will be charged to a given project or funding source dependent upon the services performed by the task orders, and the respective department and project manager will ensure that sufficient funding is available in the approved operating budget or CIP project budget for related tasks prior to initiating the task order or services performed. That does conclude my presentation. I thank you very much for taking the time to listen, and I'm happy to take any questions.